Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's the first episode of the leveling guide for the Apostate, the Vitality Damage Apostate. There are several ways you could do this. If you've got a merit, great, use the merit, pick Inquisitor, level up to, I don't know, the mid-30s, go straight across to Ogden Bog because all the rifts will be open, and go and either farm your gear items or go and buy them from Vinylton's shop. We'll cover all that probably in a later episode, how to do that. What I'm doing here is, this is if you want to do this as your first character, or if you don't have a character that can get merits yet, what you do is you start off with a necromancer. Now you could start off with an inquisitor and level up on Word of Pain. It'll work, but there will be a significant amount of skill respecking to get to the vitality damage character later on. You could level up with a necro with pets, but again, there'll be a massive amount of respec in all your devotions that you've applied. You have to change all that stuff. If you do what I did with this, then you'll be laughing, because the skills that you'll be using under necro: Reaping Strike, Necrotic Edge, Siphon Souls, Ill Omen, Spectral Binding and Spectral Wrath, Call of the Grave. You'll end up using all those skills in the final build. You might want to take one of them out, you might want to drop that, I don't know, but the skill point somewhere else. I haven't on the one I've got. So what you do is, I'll show you what you would do to get to this point. This guy, this is the actual Grimtools of the character I've got. So stuff you can farm, that's an Act 1 monster infrequent item, Grundleplith Tail, you can get that. As a Vilos ring, you can go and farm that. Leovinus ring, you can just go straight and get that in Forgotten Gods. That's a random drop, so I can't really say you're going to get one of them, but it was the best I could get. That's something that you'll get drop in Forgotten Gods area quite early on. That's useful up until you get the Ogden Bog items. Random rubbish, same, lucky drop, random rubbish. Gluttony, relic, yeah, get that and use that until you're level 35 and you can use something better. So let's talk about, how did I level this thing up? Right, let's do it from scratch. So what I did was pick necro, 2 points in the mastery, 1 point in that, 2 points, 1 point, get to there, gets a point in that, and then you're kind of doing the 2 and 1, 2 and 1. You don't need more than 1 point in there. Grab that as soon as you get it, you might as well, and then you'll get up to here. If you can get that maxed out, great, and then you're going to want to max out Spectral Wrath, because what that's going to do is it's going to give you minus 25% vitality resistance, so all your vitality attacks will do a lot more damage than they would, because you're lowering the enemy's resistance to that damage type, and you're laughing with that. Now keep on moving this up, and then I think did I max that out? Probably. You want to get up to Siphon Souls, you want to get Call of the Grave, you want to get Siphon Souls, and then maybe kind of flip-flop maxing them out to where you are. What does this look like? Let's have a quick look at what it actually looks like. I think that's maxed out, yeah, so maxed. So that's what I did. So there's the one I just messed about with. There's the real one. Actually, what's different there? Something's different. Oh yeah, I got Ill Omen maxed out as well. So yeah, so by the time you're level whatever level I was, 32, so once you're level 32 you'll look like that. So I think that's pretty much the same in it. This is just buff with gear buffs. So the devotion path, this is what I did. You could do it a different way, but this is what I did. I wanted to get over to Wendigo kind of as quickly as possible while also having some damage going on. So the first thing you do is grab green, do bat. As soon as you finish bat, reclaim your green point, stick a point in blue and get him, so you get 5 blue, because this thing needs 6 blue and 4 red. once you've got Bat and Eel, I did Wretch. I might claim these points back later because Wretch don't really do an awful lot. I mean, he's all right, but the damage type don't really match up. Once you've got him completed, you can go and do him. So by the time you've got that complete, you don't need any, well, you don't really need any points left in there to get to where I got. That's by level 32. That was a mixture of Act 1 shrines and some Forgotten God shrines. So that's where I got with that. Attribute points, I didn't put any in Spirit. Oh, it says I put a point in Cunning. Okay. I didn't think I did. I thought I'd put them all in Physique. If there is a point in Cunning, that was a mistake. Ignore that. I put them all in Physique, but I kept 5 back. I kept 5 back just in case. Because I don't know whether I'm going to need to put points into Spirit. You find you do burn through energy quite quickly. Here we go with the actual gameplay. It's heavily edited, so what you're going to see here mostly is me reaching levels, allocating skill points, finding the shrines, allocating devotion points, and significant parts of the gameplay. I think the full Krieg fight's in here, the full Cronley fight, some other stuff. I'm not doing anything remotely crazy here. I'm just going around leveling up. What I should have done, what I do round about level 9 or 10 is, because the vitality damage hasn't yet become significant enough to be fun, is I get a Searing Ember and I use the Fire Blast skill off that. Now what I'd recommend is, as soon as you get to level 5, if you've got a Searing Ember, just use that Fire Blast skill until your vitality damage through gear and skills and devotions becomes strong enough and you're doing AoE, area damage with Spectral Wrath. Once you're doing area damage with Spectral Wrath, it will be, you won't need the Fire Blast thing because everything will just be dying. And once you get Siphon Souls, or whatever it's called, Siphon Spirit, Siphon Souls, the top row skill, round about, I think it's 32 mastery points, is it? I don't know. I'll have a look in a minute when the screen comes up and tell you what I'm talking about. Top row is about the fourth or fifth thing across. Let's have a look. Get your skill window up, mate. You get a skill window up now. So have a look at the top row and there's a red blob. 3, 2, yeah, it's the third thing across on the top row. Siphon Souls. Once you get that, you'll be getting loads of health back, and Reaping thing will do that as well. But all of this is, you could do this as a fresh start. I had a few things in stash. So I had the blueprint for Gluttony, which is a level 25 relic. I use that. If you haven't got it, you can't use it. If you've got it, use it. It doesn't make a massive difference. So the shrines, I kind of got the allocation wrong and I went in and did it. So I put a point in red, should have put a point in green. To put a point in green and start Bat off. Yeah, I put a point in red. I thought Bat was red. I didn't even check. I mean, 3,000 odd hours and I still don't realise that Bat's a flipping green constellation. This is me now using Searing Ember. You can see that I'm using that. It's nothing to do with vitality damage. I've put Searing Ember on Francis's gun and I'm using that until vitality damage gets strong enough. There's Spectral Wrath. As soon as you've got that, you want to try and max that out quickly. And with your shrines, you're just going to be putting points into Bat until you get that thing done. Here's a shrine and a level up. Don't worry about picking Inquisitor class yet. Just stay with Necro for as long as possible. You're probably going to be staying with Necro quite a long way through the vanilla game, because what you want to do is you want to be making your character strong with vitality skills that you don't have to respec once you get the Inquisitor mastery, and you want to be getting your devotions buffing vitality as well, so you won't have to undo any of this stuff. Like I said, if you went Inquisitor Word of Pain and you're doing fire damage, elemental damage, you'd have to buff that with gear and devotions to get through the vanilla game, you know, as efficiently as possible. And then you have to undo it all. This is the way you do this, is you won't have to undo a bunch of stuff. I mean, I might undo some devotions, but that's just because I've used some devotion constellations are stepping stones to get to ones I actually need, and then I can undo them later if possible. But you don't really want to worry too much about that. What you want to be doing is you want to be, if you're starting this as an early character, say you haven't got any characters on your roster that have got merits, and you do this, you could do this as a first character, and your necro with vitality damage would be quite strong. Then you complete the vanilla game, get into the Ashes of Malmouth expansion area, and that's where you get the offhand, which is a Leaf Mane trophy, the medal, which is Namadia's Eye. It means you've got to go hostile with Barrowhome, but my own particular way of doing this is to use the Namadia's Eye medal from normal difficulty all the way through. So your level 100 character has got a normal level, I don't know, 30, 40 something Namadia's Eye, but you don't worry about that. If you wanted to, you could make Barrowhome hostile in Ultimate and get a high level Namadia's Eye, but Barrowhome shop sells some really good vitality damage augments and bits and pieces that you might want to use. So the way I will do this in this leveling video is I'll get Namadia's Eye in normal, I'll go hostile with Barrowhome in normal, and then when I get into elite I'll go friendly with them. That's what I did the first time I did this build ages ago, and that's what I'll do with this, because it's the way I know works, rather than do it a different way and then get to level 100 and go, oh well, what you should have done was that sort of thing. If you go here, Grundleplith, I showed the map where this is. You go and kill Grundleplith's Tail, which is a 100% drop chance now after patch 1.2. Go and kill him. I only killed him once, so I didn't want to farm for a particular version. This will get you through until you get something decent later. So you get Grundleplith's Tail. So although this is going to be a ranged build, that thing there with the buffs to Reaping Strike and the additional vitality damage is what you're going to need. I think, was it a level 16 item? I think it was. So I picked that up, and then at level 16 I ditch Francis's gun, I ditch the Searing Ember, and I go vitality damage. So that's the point where I made the switch from using the Fire Blast thing. And I had also previously crafted a Hollowed Fang. I don't use the skill off Hollowed Fang because that's bleed damage, but the vitality buffs it gives are decent, so you might as well have one of them. And I'm not talking an awful lot about the skill point allocation because that's all been covered earlier in the video. All I'm doing here, this is just the gameplay, so you can see, okay, he told us this is how he did it, and now what I'm doing is showing you this is how I actually did it. So what I was talking about while I was showing it in Grimtools was kind of, yeah, this is how I did it, but I mean the actual skill point allocation where I was putting points in might be slightly different, but the end result at level 32 is the character will look the same as the one I was walking through in Grimtools. There you go. Once you've got Bat completed, you can go and reclaim that node, the Crossroads node, because Bat is a self-supporting constellation. All the tier 1 constellations, the ones that initially need 1 point in a colour to start off, they all support themselves. So once you've completed it, you can take the point out of the Crossroads node. This is the Warden's Cellar. I will be at the Krieg fight fairly soon. That's the last Act 1 shrine. I don't count the East Marsh shrine as an Act 1 shrine because it's not part of the Act 1 area. It's like it's an optional high level. It's like level 30 some odd area. So yeah, so by the time you get to Underground Transit heading into Warden's Lab, you'll have 7 devotion points. And you should be round about level 19 or 20. I didn't farm anything. I didn't go crazy on leveling. So yeah, it was kind of natural. And I haven't detoured off anywhere yet. I've just been in Act 1. As soon as I kill Krieg, I'm going to go into Forgotten Gods to start earning rep with the factions there, specifically Bismail. Bismail faction's got some vitality gear and it's got a gun, a level 84 gun called the Bismail hand cannon. This isn't speeded up. This is a Krieg fight. I think did I leave the full? Can't remember. I think I left the full fight on here, just to show what you can do. I mean, this is just with bits and pieces of gear that I've picked up. I didn't use anything out of stash. It's just Grundleplith's Tail and a few other bits of junk. There's nothing really apart from Grundleplith's Tail that you can go and target farm or get in Act 1 for this. Unless I'm missing the point, I don't think there's anything. I think that's pretty much it, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, so as soon as you kill Krieg, get into Forgotten Gods, go through and do this trial, go and talk to this guy, and then go straight over and join Bismail, because they've got, if you stick vitality damage in here in the Bismail shop, and have a look there, they've got that, and they've got an elite version a bit later. That's all right, but that's the thing you want there, that gun, Bismail hand cannon. Until you get a Morgul's Mortality, or a mythical Morgul's Mortality, that gun will carry you. That will do what you want to do. Join them. Get that quest from what's his face. I got the yeah, I've forgotten how to go back. I got the movement skill. You want to get Vanish. Don't get Leap. Leap's awful. Well, it's not. Vanish is great. It's got massive range on it, and it works with what you're doing, because you can like vanish across into the middle of a group, put down Siphon Souls. There you go, and everything just gets vaporized most of the time. All I wanted to do here was get as far as the Temple of Osir just to open the rift, and then go up and get the Leovinus ring, because it's got 24% elemental resistance on it, which is dead handy, particularly if you're playing in hardcore. Level 20. Yeah, points in. I think I kept 5 points back and put the rest in physique, so once you've got 5 points from having 6 points onwards, you're just putting those points into physique. I don't know whether I accidentally put one into cunning. There's Vanish. Vanish has got great distance on it. It's like an invisible version of Blitz. It kind of works the same as Blitz, only you're invisible while you're moving around. A bit like Shadow Strike, I suppose. It's probably more like Shadow Strike than Blitz, but whatever. Yeah, get into the Hidden Refuge. There's the map showing you. You come up from the Temple of Osir Rift, follow, just go to where I am. You can get this shrine and you can get the Leovinus ring. I'll put a link in the description if I remember. I've got an actual walkthrough of how to do that, if just looking at the map's not enough for you. So you get that. Stick that. Oh yeah, I leveled up as well. Pretty straightforward. And then what you do, oh yeah, don't forget to allocate the skills. Go and start, yeah, I started putting points in heal. Once I got Bat complete, start doing heal. So get the blues. It's all to do with getting across to Wendigo. There's a Leovinus ring. There's always one in there. There's one in there in normal, one in elite, and one in ultimate. And just swap it with whichever one of your rings is the weakest. Put that on. It's a great piece of kit. Oh yeah, I went into the Temple of Osir just to get the Blood of the Watchers for the Bismail quest and to get the shrine. And there's a method to my madness with shrine collecting, because I want to get that Wendigo as quick as I can. So you go in here and get these shrines and it will get you that much closer, that much quicker. Yeah, he's reflective. I wasn't really that bothered. If you do high damage, and you, like if you've got a Krieg's Evil Eye thing and you attack one of those, you take a load of damage back. But I wasn't really that fussed. Heal's complete. I can go and reclaim that blue point now and start putting points into Wretch. This is back in Act 2. So I got Temple of Osir Shrine, and then I just went back into Act 2. You can see here, down by this totem, if you watch this now, it's a pretty good demonstration of how effective this vitality damage already is. Alright, yeah, I've got those Molten Walker boots on, which is a bit confusing because everything's setting on fire, but most of the damage I'm doing is vitality. This is the cave where Barros Radlith is. That shield, that spectral war shield, until you get the weird offhand from Forgotten Gods, use that spectral war shield just because it's got vitality damage on it and it will protect you a little bit. You can get them with some quite good affixes as well. So that's what I'd recommend. I mean, you might find something better. If you find something better and you'd rather use it, good. I mean, ultimately you're going to be using an offhand, you're not going to be using a shield. But for now, it's kind of okay. Yeah, there's what I've got there. You'd think, where's that other point come from for Wretch? How did he have a point in Wretch? It's because I reclaimed the blue node on the crossroads. So that's why Wretch has now got 2 points in it. I didn't get a shrine that I didn't show you. I actually went and reclaimed the point of the spirit guide and didn't show you that instead. Sorry about that. But, you know, you can imagine how that played out. At this point, once you get to... Oh, that's 32, isn't it? Yeah, once you get there, I stopped putting points into the Necro Mastery bar. Because I don't know whether I'm going to need to put more points in there. Because you've got the exclusive skill... You can only, if you've got 2 masteries and they've both got exclusive skills, you can only use one exclusive skill across both masteries. So you can't have Harbinger of Souls exclusive skill on the Necro and Aura of Censure on the Inquisitor side. What you hope for is you hope to get the gear item. I think it's Radigan's hat, isn't it? Something like that. I think it's Radigan's hat, could be wrong. That does the fire to vitality conversion on Aura of Censure, because that's just brilliant. The Leaf Mane trophy converts the fire damage to vitality on Inquisitor Seal. Then you know you're going to get that. That's 100% chance you're going to get that, because even if you don't get it as a drop, you can go and buy it from Vinylton shop. We'll cover that more in a future video. But yeah, so your offhand's sorted, the medal's sorted in Amadeus Eye, and the weapon is kind of sorted. Here's the Cronley fight. Yeah, I cut a load of footage out of this because it was just me running around and flipping circles. He did hit me quite hard. I mean, you just got to be careful, particularly when he's got his like version of Maven Sphere up. You can't damage him. But he's down. Yeah, don't forget to go into his little back room and get all this garbage. If you're lucky, you'll get a level up out of it. I did, level 26. Yeah, now all I'm doing now is the key skills, or rather the skills I'm actually using, apart from Spectral Binding or whatever. Apart from Spectral Binding, I'm maxing everything else out pretty much, or at least getting it up to the soft cap, and then letting gear do the rest. Yeah, it's a Twin Falls Shrine. Should be on the way to getting a point into... Yeah, here we go. First point into Wendigo. Wendigo is a really important constellation. The other one is the scales thing, with the tip the scales skill, which goes on to one of your passives, one of your toggle skills. And then when you get hit, they take damage and you get health back. It's really good. It's one of the things that if you go back and have a look at some of the videos for this, maybe the most recent one I put up with that Kubacabra fight, that shrine goes a long way to helping you just stand there and take loads of damage and just shrug it off. Level 28. Yeah, cramming points in physique. And I'm just raising... There you go, just putting points in stuff. Ill Omen's maxed out now. Necrotic Edge will get there, and Siphon Souls will get there. Yeah, that was the... I didn't record the... Well, I did I? I don't think I recorded the Kilrian fight. It was... You can imagine how it went. I stood there and hit him and he died. Keep going. Put a point in Wendigo, John. There you go, look. By the end of this video, that will be maxed out. Here's level 20 something else. Or is it level 30? 29. I'm respected. Yeah, Rovers do some fairly decent vitality gear as well. If you're struggling for bits and pieces, you can go and get some of theirs. But their respected stuff's level 35, I think. This is just showing you where the points went. Bat, Eel, Wretch, Wendigo. And you notice there's none of the nodes on the crossroads populated. So if you get to this point and you're thinking, what am I doing wrong? Go and reclaim your crossroads points at the Spirit Guide. Yeah, if you get on the Hidden Path quest, again, I've got a guide to that. Get the second boss, because he's got the pants that do attack damage converted to health. they're always worth having, and you can get them dropped with some really good resistances on. And if you're lucky, you'll get vitality damage on there, but don't worry too much about it if you don't. Level 30. Again, like I said, I'm just sticking points into the skills now. I've left the mastery bar alone. That was level 31. I almost missed recording that. Yeah, I think I edited this fight as well because it went on for ages. Just be careful with those golems. Some of them are hit pretty hard, like yeah, you can see. And we're one node closer to the Wendigo skill. Is it 2 to go? Yeah, it's 2 to go. So what I do is nip back into Forgotten Gods, run up to Cairn Docks, get the shrine here. This will get me a devotion point, and I think it will get me level 32. Yeah, there you go. Fantastic. So I'm not going to level up anymore in this video. I'm just going to go and get another shrine, which is in the area where you go and rescue Anorak's brothers. Or you rescue one and find the other one's dead. So I got 1 to go, so I thought, yeah, for the sake of completing it, get into the sand-blown ruins, which is in the Cairn Docks area. It's just a little bit across to the west from where the rift is. Take them out and go and finish off. What I did, I put this onto the movement skill because it had the highest chance of activating, 51% I think. So I had a look. See, it's got 15% on there. Necrotic Edge is the same. Vanish, 51%. So yeah, I mean, you can put it on Siphon Souls, but it's good putting it on Vanish because you vanish into them and then you just do a load of damage and everything just starts getting completely vaporized. So you got a mix of the resistance reduction and damage that Spectral Wrath is doing and all the other stuff going on. Watch this totem now. Again, it's a good example of how effective this is. You keep an eye on the character's health, which is constantly just ticking back up to being maxed out, and how quick everything's dying. And these totems in Forgotten Gods, they can be quite nasty. And on the ground back there, that Compelled Wraith, see it over on the left? I'll go and pick that up in a sec. And that is that thing. And that's awesome. So once you get a Compelled Wraith, ditch your shield and use that instead. And that's it. That's how we got to level 32. Just a quick recap. Farmable. You can kind of, hopefully, luckily, get one of those things to drop in the Forgotten Gods area. Easy to get. Better than nothing. And that's all just random junk. If you get something with Dreadlord on it, it's going to be handy for attack damage converted to health. Yeah. I put all the points into physique. I don't know where the hell that 1 point in cunning came from. That was a mistake. I must have accidentally clicked it. It's my collection of spectral shields. Use them until you get one of them. Skills, yeah, it's just all necro. Just a quick recap. Maxed out, maxed out, maxed out, maxed out. 1 point. Might get maxed out later. Maxed out, maxed out. That's handy for big boss fights. Get that eventually. And then, yeah, one day. Inquisitor, Devotion. Point in green. Grab Bat. Reclaim the point in green. Point in, where's blue? Point in blue. Eel. Reclaim the point in blue. Wretch. Wendigo. Mixture of Act 1 and Forgotten Gods shrines, and I've got that on Vanish at the moment. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll get another episode up as soon as I can.